To get life sentences and 9 others get 10-year imprisonment in Ramna Bottomul bomb attack case. Investment Development Authority will not approve any investment proposals, those against country's interest, says BIDA Executive Chairman Chaudhry Ashik Mahmood bin Harun. Determining path of Bangladesh after the mass uprising is the objective of Consensus Commission, says Dr. Ali Riaz. Two divisions named Revenue Policy and Revenue Management created dissolving NBR. Abolition of NBR will not hamper revenue collection, says Finance Advisor. Ban on Awami League activates a major progress to remove fascist influence from state and society, say elites. Israel attacks Gaza despite release of US-Israeli hostage Eden Alexander. 39 more Palestinians killed. And in Saudi Pro League, Al Nasser beat Al Aqd by record 9-0 goals without Cristiano Ronaldo. Assalamu alaikum. Welcoming on News at 10. I'm Nazneen Khalik Zubair with the news. The High Court today commuted sentences of 10 people convicted by the lower court concerned in the case lodged over the 2001 Ramna Bottomul bomb attack that killed 10 people. A High Court division bench of Justice Mustafa Zaman Islam and Justice Nasrin Akhtar pronounced the judgment, rejecting death reference, dismissing their appeals but modifying their sentences. Of the convicts, the High Court commuted death sentence of Mohammad Tajuddin to life imprisonment, while commuted death sentences of Akbar Hussain, Arif Hassan, Hafiz Jahangir Alum Badr, Abu Bakr alias Hafiz, Selim Hauladar, Abdul Al-Hay, Shafiqur Rahman to 10-year imprisonment. It also commuted life imprisonment of Sabbir, Sheikh Farid and Abu Tahir to 10-year jail. The High Court also fined them 50,000 taka each. A total of 10 people were killed in a bomb attack on Chayanout's Bangla New Year celebrations at Ramna Bottomul on April 13 in 2001. Police filed 2 cases, one for murder and another under the Explosive Substances Act with the Ramna police station on the same day. The Criminal Investigation Department CID filed the charge sheet against 14 people in the 2 cases on November 30 in 2008. Bangladesh Investment Development Authority BIDA will not approve any investment proposals which are against the interest of the country. BIDA Executive Chairman Chaudhry Ashik Mahmood bin Harun informed this at a view exchange meeting with political parties on investment environment in the capital today. Ensuring sustainable investment environment in Bangladesh, BIDA has organized the discussion to get the advice and recommendations of the country's leading political parties. Representatives from 16 political parties participated in the meeting held at the BIDA head office in the capital. The political party leaders called upon the BIDA authorities to attach special importance to the local investors, side by side foreign investors. They also emphasized on giving topmost priority to protect national interest. The BIDA Executive Chairman said, investment and employment generation are the national interest of Bangladesh and beyond party or political interest. Commission meeting was held by the Communist Party of Bangladesh CPB at the LD Hall of the National Parliament building. At the beginning of the dialogue, the Vice President of the National Consensus Commission, Dr. Ali Riaz, stated that the Commission's goal is to define and implement a clear roadmap for Bangladesh's structural transformation after the mass uprising. The General Secretary of the Communist Party of Bangladesh CPB, Ruhin Hossain Prince, said that the interim government must now undertake necessary reforms. If the government engages in major reforms, it may face a crisis in delivering elections to the people. Therefore, holding elections should be prioritized. Members of the National Consensus Commission and leaders of the Communist Party of Bangladesh were present at the dialogue. The interim government has announced the dissolution of the National Board of Revenue (NBR) and the introduction of two distinct entities under the Finance Ministry, the Revenue Policy Division and the Revenue Management Division. In a statement today, the Chief Advisor's press wing noted that this decision aims to separate tax policy making from tax administration to improve efficiency, reduce conflicts of interest and broaden the country's tax base. Established over 50 years ago, the NBR has consistently failed to meet its revenue targets. The tax to GDP ratio in Bangladesh is approximately 7.4%, one of the lowest in Asia. For context, the global average is 16.6%, while Malaysia stands at 11.6%. To achieve the development aspirations of its people, Bangladesh must raise its tax to GDP ratio to at least 10%. The statement noted that restructuring the NBR is critical to this goal. There is growing consensus that a single institution should not be responsible for both creating tax policy and enforcing it. Such an arrangement breeds conflicts of interest and promotes inefficiencies. For years, businesses in Bangladesh have complained that policies have often prioritized revenue collection over fairness, growth, and long-term planning. Transparent, predictable policies and a professional tax administration are expected to attract investment and reduce complaints from the private sector. The abolition of the National Board of Revenue (NBR) will not negatively affect revenue collection, said Finance Advisor Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed. He made this remark while speaking to journalists after a meeting of the Government Procurement Advisory Committee held this morning at the Secretariat. Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed stated that revenue collection and policy making cannot go hand in hand under the same body. He emphasized that the decision to abolish the NBR was taken thoughtfully and based on consultations. When asked by journalists about the impact of NBR's dissolution, the finance advisor assured that it will not hamper revenue collection. On the contrary, revenue collection is expected to increase compared to last year. He further mentioned that this year's budget will not be prepared through borrowing or printing money. However, whether the budget will be large or small will be known in a few days, he added. The banning of the Awami League's activists has brought relief among the public. The protesting students and citizens say this move was extremely necessary. Prominent figures view the restriction on the Awami League's activists as a significant step toward eliminating fascist influence from the state and society. Analysts argue that the fundamental mistake was to consider the Awami League as a political party at all. They believe that ordinary Awami League members and supporters should be given a chance to acknowledge the mistakes and reintegrate it into society. Experts emphasize that, along with politics, other sectors must also be freed from the grip of fascism. Examples from Germany and Italy could serve as valuable lessons for Bangladeshi in this regard. However, they assert that for the process to be complete, the judicial proceedings must be carried out properly and swiftly. They stress the need to advance the process of societal restructuring. Political scientists also highlighting the importance of uprooting fascism not only from politics but also from other spheres of influence. The Appellate Division of the Supreme Court today adjourned until tomorrow the hearing on Jamaat Islamist's appeal against a High Court verdict that scrapped its registration with the Election Commission as a political party. A four-member bench of the Appellate Division, headed by Chief Justice Syed Rifat Ahmed, passed the adjournment order after concluding today's hearing. Barrister Ehsan Siddiq, accompanied by Advocate Mohammad Shishir Monir, appeared for Jamaat during the hearing. On May 7, the Apex Court bench fixed today for resuming hearing of the appeal following a prayer from Jamaat's lawyer Shishir Monir. The High Court on August 1, 2013 scrapped Jamaat's registration with the EC as a political party following a writ petition. Maulana Syed Rezaul Haq Chatpuri, Secretary General of the Bangladesh Tariq Federation, along with 24 others, filed the petition on January 25, 2009, seeking its order declaring Jamaat's registration illegal. The EC scrapped Jamaat's registration in October 2018 ahead of the 11th national election. Jamaat then filed the appeal with the Appellate Division challenging the HC judgment. The Appellate Division started hearing the appeal on December 3rd last year. A Magura court has set 17 May as the date to deliver the verdict in the widely discussed rape and murder case of the 8-year-old Asiya. The court gave the order at around 11 a.m. today after the presentation of closing arguments by the prosecution and the defense. Judge M. Jahid Hassan of the Women and Children Repression Prevention Tribunal in Magura started hearing the closing arguments yesterday morning. Having completed hearing the witness testimonies and cross-examination of the accused, the court had scheduled 13 May to finish closing arguments. The main accused in the case, Hitu Sheikh, who is the father-in-law of the child's sister, gave a confessional statement in court on 15 March. Earlier on 6 March, the 8-year-old child was raped during a visit to house of her sister-in-laws in Nanduali village of Magura Shadur. Home Advisor Lieutenant General Retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry said Bangladesh and Egypt are set to sign soon the reciprocal visa exemption agreement for the official and diplomatic passport holders. He said when Egyptian ambassador to Bangladesh Omar Muhyiddin Ahmed Fahmi paying a courtesy call on him at his Home Minister office at the Secretariat this afternoon. Home Advisor said that the draft of the mutual visa exemption agreement for diplomatic and official passport holders has been sent to Egypt through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for approval. The ambassador assured that Egypt will extend all-out cooperation in this regard.
ক্ষুধা লাগছে খাই